From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint & Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good evening, everyone. It feels like it's just a bit of a waiting game, right? We're talking about this heavy rainfall, the snow, the gusty winds that are heading our way, and we really didn't see much activity out there today. Most of the activity was in the higher elevations and along the coast, and it even wasn't all that significant. But we're going to get you through tonight and tomorrow for those of you that are in a hurry. But before we get to Kruger's Quickcast, here's what I'm tracking, and here's what you can expect as we go into the deeper dive forecast. We're talking about flood potential along with mudslides and debris flows. We're talking low snow levels that could lead to chain requirements, travel delays even on I-5. There could be some problems there. Gusty winds could lead to some power outages. We're talking 50, 60 mile an hour winds and even higher in some cases. And there's actually a freeze warning for the valley tonight. In fact, there it is for 10 o'clock tonight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Temperatures between 30 and 35 degrees. There's a look at the forecast to overnight lows tonight. Obviously colder in the mountains, teens and 20s. For those overnight lows there, you're talking upper 30s to around 40 along the coast. You'll definitely need to bundle up there for tonight. Getting you out the door tomorrow morning. Could see some snow flurries in Siskiyou County. Trinity County, a flurry or a stray shower, and even the coast seeing some of those showers as well. But dry start to the day for the valley. It's also the case for Modoc County and the eastern mountains. So you can clearly see that flow coming on in. The rain will eventually be here by tomorrow afternoon, really kind of in full force, really tomorrow evening. We'll take a look at that timing here. Here's 6 o'clock this evening. We're going to take you into tonight and tomorrow morning. You can see the next round of showers begin to move in. Now look off to our west. This is the leading edge of the moisture associated with that atmospheric river. Not here just yet, but we are seeing some of the snow in northern Trinity County, Siskiyou County. Still fairly dry tomorrow morning, as I mentioned, for the valley eastward. All right, so that's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow around noon, there's the leading edge of that atmospheric river. Not 100% here yet. Leading edge of it, we're seeing some of the showers along the coast. Still Siskiyou County, Trinity County, westward, seeing most of the activity even at the noon hour. Snow levels, by the way, between 2,500 and 3,500 feet. Now we're beginning to see the rain get a bit heavier for parts of the coast, Trinity County. Snow level still 2,500 to 3,500 feet. Snow is getting heavier, but the heaviest rain still off the coast here for Tuesday evening. Tuesday night, now we're starting to see that heavier rainfall begin to kick in. It looks like just, say, the north end of the valley. But I mean, look at the east. There's just not much going on just yet, but that will change by the time we get into Wednesday. How about those winds? Well, I'm not too terribly concerned about them for tomorrow for most of us. But as we go through the morning and afternoon, winds very gusty for the coast. Eventually late in the day on Tuesday, we are beginning to see those winds pick up for the valley. They'll get even stronger for Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. All right, so here's your forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures low 50s. Showers late in the day, probably Tuesday night will be when most of that rain begins to kick in. Not very wet the first half of the day, even for the eastern mountains. There you can see temperatures in the 40s there, low to mid 50s as we take you along the coast. All right, taking a look at your 7-day outlook, we'll just kind of look at this briefly here because we're going to have to talk about it in more detail. But there's that rain, really rain chances each and every single day for everyone for the most part as we go into the next 7 days. That's the case for the coast, that's the case for the inland areas, and for Trinity County as well. So this is quite a wet weather pattern that is setting itself up. Now the main atmospheric river event will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is not really associated with an atmospheric river Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but there will be showers in the forecast. All right, that's your quick cast. Hope you have yourselves a great night, but for those of you who want a lot more detail, boy, we are going to get into it. So let's get you right to it. Periods of heavy rain and steady rain this week. And I think most of that steady rain will be Wednesday, as I mentioned, Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. Potential for flooding, mudslides, and debris flows. We got heavy snow at lower levels. This could mean travel delays, chain requirements. As I mentioned, I-5 is going to be a bit of a concern here. Gusty winds also, with the potential for power outages, downed trees, broken tree branches, the works. So the colder air is off toward north and west. This is the stream of moisture that is working its way toward us. This is that atmospheric river that's going to be moving in. We look at the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. The yellow is a slight risk for flooding. The green is the even smaller risk. Take a look as we go into Wednesday. Red indicating the moderate. So this whole area, take a look at this and then see what the National Weather Service has done. That basic same area is where we have a flood watch for Tuesday night through Saturday morning. All right, so even though the atmospheric river will be out of here by the time we get into Friday night, Saturday, and we're still seeing some of that rain for Saturday and even into Sunday. But yeah, we got to watch for the potential for even mudslides and debris flows, especially around those burn scar areas. We're going to have to look out for that. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. This is the detail that you're going to be kind of just sit back and watch and see what's going on here. Now, I'm starting off around 2,500, 3,500 foot snow levels, that is. 11 o'clock tonight, things are fairly dry. You can see to the north and west, Del Norte County still maybe seeing a lingering shower out there. All right, you can see overnight into tomorrow morning, most of it's for the coast, Trinity County, Siskiyou County westward. For tomorrow morning, it's dry. And we were showing you this a little bit earlier. You can see how this is all approaching as we go through the day tomorrow. But really overall, the heaviest rainfall still off the coast, even at 5 p.m. But we're beginning to see some of that heavy rainfall. We're beginning to see some of that heavier snow making its way in. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., showers making their way into the valley, snow off to the east. Let's take you into Tuesday night, 11 o'clock. Now we're seeing that atmospheric river aimed right at the coast. This darker blue indicating the snow. So Tuesday night, Wednesday morning is when I'm most concerned about travel delays on I-5 because you've got heavy snow there. I think there's going to be accumulating snow on the highway. Heavy snow, heavy rain that is here for the valley. But I mean, still, even Tuesday at 11 p.m., far eastern portions of Modoc County, Lassen County, still fairly dry. But then this will all be shifting eastward, and now you can see Wednesday morning, 8 a.m., heaviest rainfall is now making its way, especially for the central and north side of the valley, but even the east side of the valley around Chico and Oroville, seeing some of that heavy rainfall as well. This is when the rain becomes a little bit more steady, and we're not going to see many breaks in there. We're also seeing some of that heavy snow making its way to the north and east of the valley. Once again, 2,500, 3,500 foot snow levels. But look at where the atmospheric river cuts itself off, especially out towards Del Norte and Humboldt counties and even western Siskiyou County. Still showers, but the heavier rainfall is to the east of the north coast and to the east of western Siskiyou County. That's the case going into Wednesday afternoon as well. So again, when we're looking at the 7-day forecast, we're not looking at steady rainfall for the coast, but we are looking at steady rainfall to the south and east of the coast. It all has to do with the positioning of where that atmospheric river is pointed to. That has everything to do with who sees the most amount of rainfall, and of course that snow as well. Still looking at snow levels 2,500, 3,500 feet, but at this point, we're going to begin to start to see those snow levels slowly rise. So even though we still may be looking at some problems on I-5, even Wednesday afternoon, snow levels will probably start to rise at that point. But look what happens. Did you see that? It's filling back in with heavy rainfall for the north coast and western Siskiyou County Wednesday night. That's because there's an area of low pressure digging to the south that's causing this to retreat back to the north and west. Now I've got snow levels Wednesday night about 3,500 to 4,500 feet. Look at Mount Shasta and around I-5. See that? That's the rain-snow mix. So again, this is an indication that we're seeing those snow levels begin to rise a little bit here. The rain, still pretty steady even for the valley, but you can see this heavier rainfall now is north and west of the valley Wednesday night at 10 p.m. And then we see this kind of round continuing to, it just kind of stays pointed at Northern California Thursday and Friday. We'll take a look at that in the longer range here in a second. But look at the rainfall amounts through Wednesday night. Look at the valley. Redding 3, about 4 inches in Chico, 2.5 inches in the central portions of the valley. Look at the coast, less rainfall. How many times do we actually see more rain in the valley than we do on the coast? It's not very common, but has everything to do with the positioning where that atmospheric river is during this time frame, and then eventually works its way back Wednesday night for the coast, where they're going to see the heavier rainfall there. How about that snow? Well, let's take you through Tuesday. All right, yeah, we may see some light accumulation here for parts of Mount Shasta City, kind of that slushy snow. Weaverville, Hayfork, I think you're borderline. Maybe a mix, maybe a light dusting of snow for Weaverville and Hayfork. that might be overdue. We'll see. Again, remember where we were kind of seeing it. Mount Shasta seems to be that cutoff point. Remember I was talking about where it's kind of cutting off, where you see less rain here, but then more rain over the valley? Mount Shasta is kind of in that borderline cutoff point. So all you have to do is shift a little bit more to the south. Now you're seeing less snow from Mount Shasta. Shift a little bit more to the north and west. Now you've got more snow. We'll see. But this is an interesting number to look at. I'm not 100% saying no, it's not going to happen. I think it might be overdoing it. But could you see a foot or two of snow? Some wet snow? Sure. I mean, that's what it looks like at this point. And how about the ski park? Oh, man. I mean, look at that. All right, so just kind of give you an idea. I mean, you look at the scale. I mean, you're talking several feet of snow. This is great news for the ski park, I tell you what. Not such great news, though, if you need to travel on I-5. Now, this forecast model only goes out to tomorrow around noon, but we'll take a look at what it looks like. And you can see here, conditions will improve a little bit here. Looks like still some areas where we're going to see some of that snow on some of those highways. I don't quite think that Tuesday at noon we'll see many problems on I-5, but then going through Tuesday night into Wednesday, yeah, different story. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast. I showed you the timing through Wednesday. There's that storm system approaching. All right, so there's the atmospheric river Wednesday. You see how that rain comes in. Take a look at Thursday. Doesn't move. We still have it aimed right at Northern California. Take a look at Friday. Doesn't really move. It starts to shift a little bit to the south on Friday, but still that steady rain coming in Thursday and Friday. Then that atmospheric river is pretty much shifting down to the south, but now we've got this area of low pressure right here. And these storm systems rotating around the area of low pressure, giving us more showers for Saturday. There's a look at Sunday. A little bit of an atmospheric river here, but for the most part, it's just some showers pushing on through. Could be heavy at times. And then Monday, look at that. We're still wet, even going into early next week. All right, so let's talk about this. Because, again, this is just one of those things I want to show you here. This is the reason why we're seeing so much rain. Again, I'm not trying to over-dramatize it, all right? But an atmospheric river is the reasoning behind this rain that we're going to see. Pineapple Express, Coconut Connection, call it what you will. But we basically got this river of moisture aimed right at Northern California. It's like a hose, just taking a garden hose and aiming it right at Northern California and just turning that faucet on full blast. And you've got that rain. So that's Tuesday. All right, then we go into Wednesday. Once again, you see how it's still Thursday, still pointed right at Northern California. This is diving to the south. Then we go into Friday. You see how it's beginning to shift, especially going into Saturday and Sunday. So the atmospheric river is pointed more towards Southern California, but again, we're still looking at rain here for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, the overall intensity of these atmospheric rivers is something we've got to look at. If we're in the reds and oranges, we're in a bit of a problem here, but we're not. We are going to be in the, you can see here, this is for the coast, the atmospheric river for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday a spike, and then Wednesday you saw, remember I was showing you on Futurecast, really Wednesday the coast isn't going to see much rain because that atmospheric river is to the south and east of the coast. So the valley's seeing more of that rainfall. So you see that dip down here, but then we go back up and it kind of comes back. Remember Wednesday night into Thursday, it comes back. So then it goes right back up. So it looks like Thursdays might be a little bit stronger going into that category 3. This is when we start starting to see that potential for more of that flooding, probably looking at maybe some mudslides and debris flows. That's going to be the better chance because we're really looking at saturating the ground here, and then we really kind of put more on top of that, and that's when we start running into some problems. We look at another area. This is the foothills east of the valley. See how it's much weaker, but it kind of same situation. A little bit weaker here, but a little bit stronger going into Thursday and Friday. So it's kind of in the AR1, barely within the AR2 is what we're looking at here. So once again, the stronger atmospheric rivers to be expected is going to be on the coast, and really, quite honestly, even in the valley. But east of the valley, the foothills, not quite as strong. Now, these forecast totals are coming in from the long-range forecast model. It tends to overdo it. And I'm going to show you this one, right? It's showing you 10 inches of rain for Redding. Probably not. Showing 7.3 inches of rain in Chico. That might be overdoing it as well. 14 inches Crescent City. I don't know, right? But 6,500s in El Turris. I mean, quite a big difference, right? All right, let's take a look at another one. This one's a little bit more realistic. By the way, that's for the next 7 days. That's all the way through Sunday. So you can see about 5 to 7 inches in the valley. I think that's a realistic number. 5, 6, 7 inches of rain, very realistic. 7, 8, 9, 10 inches, possibly, for Crescent City, for Eureka, Hoopa. And as usual, we're just not seeing as much off to the north and to the east, but some substantial amounts of rainfall. And we're seeing this amount of rainfall. Again, that's when flooding is a concern and can be an issue. Now, it is wetter than normal based on the Climate Prediction Center looking at over the next 10 days or so. Now we switch gears. It's not just the rain, it's not just the snow, we've got the wind to contend with as well. All right, so we take a look at this. This is a high wind warning for Tuesday evening through Wednesday morning. This is for Del Norte, Humboldt County, gusts 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour for some of those higher ridge tops. High wind warning for Tuesday, Wednesday with a capital Y at the end. Typo. 50 to 70 miles per hour for central Siskiyou County, northeastern Siskiyou, and for Modoc County. Gusty winds. Now, just because no one else is under any of these warnings or watches or anything doesn't mean it won't be windy, because it will be. In fact, let's take a look at that. So you can see by tomorrow morning, winds already starting to pick up along the coast, even central Siskiyou County. You go into 6 p.m. Tuesday, look at that. I mean, winds picking up 30, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Very strong winds out towards central Siskiyou County. Winds picking up tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening for the valley and even the eastern mountains. Let's take you into Tuesday night. I think the winds will be strongest in the valley Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. You see that? 40, over 40 miles per hour. 45 from Mount Shasta. There you can see some very strong winds east of that as well. That's 3 a.m. on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Wednesday. Now we're seeing some stronger winds off to the east, but still off to the west. Now take a look at this. We take you through the day on Wednesday. The winds, they're just gusty across the board, especially over some of those higher mountain ridge tops. But we're still looking at some very gusty winds even as we go into Wednesday night and possibly into Thursday and Friday as well. So we take a look at those wave heights going through the day on Tuesday. Yeah, the wave heights are increasing on Tuesday, and they're staying high and increasing most likely for your Wednesday as well. So looking at your marine forecast for Tuesday, yeah, southeast winds at 25 to 30 knots. The waves from the south at 4 feet at 7 seconds, and from the northwest at 12 feet at 14 seconds. There's your sunrise, sunset, and small craft advisory here for tonight and tomorrow. Once again, there's that freeze warning for the valley surrounding foothills from 10 o'clock tonight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Be sure to bundle up. There you can see those temperatures low to mid-30s in the valley, teens, 20s in the higher elevations. And there you can see for the coast, temperatures upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Look at that. Each and every single day, a chance of precipitation. Snow levels, and I'll just kind of point this out here one time so you can kind of get an idea. They're staying fairly steady for tomorrow and Wednesday. They start to increase on Thursday, increase even more Friday, Saturday around 5,000, 6,000 feet, and then we see them drop again for Sunday and Monday. All right, so let's take a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast. 51 for Alder Point, 53 in Fortuna, and 53 degrees for Blue Lake. Up north, 54 in places like Orleans as well as Gas Key, 52 in Hoopa, and McKinleyville, about 54 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 52 for Happy Camp, 48 for Fort Jones, 42 degrees in McLeod. We take you off into Modoc County, 42 degrees for Tule Lake. Looks like California Pines, 39, El Turris, 38 tomorrow, and 38 degrees for Fort Bidwell. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Look for a high of 42 degrees for Susanville, 40 in Westwood, 42 in Bernie, and 48 degrees in Paradise. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperature is in the low to mid 50s for your daytime highs, mainly low 50s, quite honestly. We take you up north, you can see about 50 degrees for Redding, 52 for Red Bluff, 45 degrees for Whiskeytown, and Lakehead, a high of about 44 degrees. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for the Valley, Redding in particular. There you can see those windy conditions for Wednesday and probably even going into Thursday as well with those winds. But there you can see that rain will be most steady, better chances of that steady rain for Wednesday, Thursday and possibly even into Friday. There'll be some breaks in there, but you get the idea. And then showers through the weekend, and then maybe some more rain showers by Monday of next week. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m., all with the latest updates.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.